If you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button below and don't forget to like the video. It helps the channel to grow. More importantly, please enjoy. Thank you. Well guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs, and today I'm discussing the debacle that is the First Division. Now, the First Division is set to kick off on the 21st of February, and we seem to be in a situation of limbo in the last number of weeks. First of all, we had a set of fixtures released, which included 10 teams, and Shamrock Rovers B were included in the fixtures. Now, Shamrock Rovers B have a video done about their inclusion in the division. But clubs had essentially voted to not have Shamrock Rovers B in the league, and the FAI basically went ahead and put Rovers B into the league regardless of what the clubs thought. So from that point of view, whether you agree with Rovers being in the league or not, the point is I think the FAI went against the clubs. So there was murmurs of a possible boycott from the clubs. We had another set of fixtures released, a draft set in the last couple of weeks as well, which actually included 11 teams, and it included Limerick, who basically didn't have a licence for this season. That's why Shamrock Rovers B were brought in the first place, because Limerick FC were essentially kicked out for failing the criteria. So now we have a new list where Limerick FC are added, and we have 11 teams in the league, which is a little bit awkward as well. Rovers won't back down. They're staying in. In fairness, I suppose, why should they back down at this stage? Because it's been granted to them. So they're staying in. Limerick is still a bit, we're not really sure what's going on there because they still haven't got a licence. Matt Sullivan, who's the owner of Limerick FC, suddenly decided that he'd mentioned that he had two investors that he wouldn't name that would pump basically 500,000 into the club. And this is why Limerick are back in the radar, and this is why they're in a position where they've been applying for a licence. Strange one actually, because just say Limerick had a licence in the first place, I suppose people wouldn't know about this situation. He's forced to come out and I don't know if admit it is the right word, but it's going to help possibly Limerick get a licence, and hopefully by next week they will have a licence and we can actually get going with this league now. But it's a strange one as well because, you know, Treaty United, which are different to Limerick FC, by the way, they're a Limerick-based club as well. It is a bit confusing. They were calling themselves Limerick United, but legally they had to change to Treaty United because I believe that legally they couldn't call themselves Limerick United because of a previous club being called Limerick United. So they had to change the name completely to Treaty United. Now, they were going to put underage teams, they had applied to put underage teams into the league, and now they are pulling it out. Now, the reason they're pulling out, I think, is because Limerick FC look like they're going to be coming back into the league. So thereby Limerick FC are going to have underage teams, etc., etc., etc. And I don't know, it could be a situation where the FAI won't give Limerick FC a licence if Treaty United have teams that they've applied for teams as well. I think there might be something in that. Treaty United have stepped back, and there's a lot of legalities they didn't get into, but basically they're saying it's not worth it. And I just wonder if the Limerick chairman, there was an element of bullying there as well. You know, basically, you know, his attitude could have been, look, we can take you down. And Treaty United have basically rolled back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the coming week, because it's not fair on all the other clubs. All the other clubs in the league, they're trying to bring in players as well. And if you're trying to bring in a player as well, we don't know. There's possibly that a few players have rejected because of the upheaval of the league, and they don't know what's happening, and players are training, players are trying to get into condition for the right time. Now, I'm sure clubs have been trying to get in condition for February 21st. And hopefully, and I still think we'll probably kick off on that. But it's just been a mess, and it's been unfair. And in my opinion, it's disappointing. It was disappointing to see Limerick FC not granted license, etc., etc. Now you want more teams in the league and that, but I think once the license wasn't granted, I think it should have been a case of it's too late for them to reapply for their own license. And as bad as it sounds, I think the best thing to do would have been to say, look, next season, let's get Limerick back in next season. But it's just turned into a bit of a mess, and it looks like there will be 11 teams now in the league. And look, they need to get sorted out. There's fans of these clubs. It's not right. They're looking forward to, they're planning trips, etc., and looking forward to the season starting. And which fixture list is going to be the list? If Limerick FC are in, it'll probably be that second list going to be the fixture list. But at this minute in time, there's no clarity. We're not sure what the fixtures are going to be and what way they're going to be set exactly. And that's it too. I just wonder if the FAI were holding off a bit too, to see if clubs would boycott as well in protest. And I don't know, was there a threat there that, look, if you are going to protest and you're going to protest, we're not giving you a license, because there's a number of clubs that still don't have a license, although I hear minor details, so I wouldn't be too hung up on that. But really, the Limerick Shamrock Rovers B situation has messed the whole thing up, but it hasn't been dealt with in the right way. And look, let's hope it's dealt with in the right way going forward, and we can just, whatever it is, I think most people would accept now, wouldn't care if Shamrock Rovers B are in the league. Maybe even the clubs are starting to think that as well. And if Limerick come back in, just get it sorted and get going. And that's it, really. And that's, by the way, that's the reason, lads, why I haven't done any work on the First Division in terms of any videos, because I had a plan to do key players for each team. But how do you do that when you don't know who's in the bloody league? And I had a plan, obviously, to do a preview for the First Division. Again, I can't do a preview until we know what's happening and what teams are in the league. I mean, Limerick FC themselves, what players have they got? Well, we haven't a clue. So if they're granted a license, they need to go out and get players. I'm sure they've done work there. But you can't preview a league and a team when you don't know what teams are going to be in it or what players. So otherwise it's going to be haphazard and half-arse, so there's no point doing that. So I plan to do those videos closer to the kickoff on the 21st of February, and hopefully by then they have this sorted out. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. What do you think of the situation? Particularly if you're a First Division fan, a fan of any club in the First Division, etc., etc. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Take it handy and good luck.